Hello and good morning and hi. How's it going? I know that it's been a little while since I've been here, but I'm in my new studio space, not really studio space, new room in the new flat. That is where I'm going to be doing my work from now on. And it's a little bit echoey, it's a little bit empty. I've managed to fill it with a little bit of stuff. But we'll slowly get this. I hope it's not the vocals aren't too rubbish. So yesterday I was meant to start and I just, had one of those days where I just thought, I'm gonna start, just ease myself into it on my own. I hadn't done any creating for the last few days because of the move. And so I made my little Inktober fish prompted drawing on my own. Drew a fish finger sandwich, the best treat ever. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen it on my stories. So that was what we did yesterday, or what I did yesterday. And today we're going to do the second Inktober prompt, which is wisp. Wisp. Such a nice word. However, I've interpreted it in my own way because, I wanted to draw something. So I'm going to go for whisper. So yeah, I'm going to be using ink today, I think. Make it interesting, but you can use whatever you want. You could just use a biro or a fine liner or a pencil or whatever. But I never really use ink to draw with, so I'm going to push myself. That's the whole purpose of Inktober. If you haven't heard of it before, Inktober happens every year. I can't remember the artist that started it, but you can Google it. And they give you prompts every day, a different word, and that prompts you to draw something related to that word using ink, and it's so that you can improve your skills, make you form a habit of drawing something every day, and you're supposed to post your work onto social media and hashtag Inktober 2020 to kind of hold you accountable. So that's where that came from. And I just thought it would be a useful prompt situation to give me more ideas for these workshops too, so we're going to do it together. So yeah, apologies that I'm holding you up and it's a bit wobbly, but I haven't got my setup sorted because otherwise it's just going to do this. No one wants to see that, so let's spin you around and hope that it is the right setup. Yeah, I think that's all right. Maybe put you up a little bit. Okay. And so we are going to start today feeling a little bit rusty, but it's fine. Maybe I'll start with drawing with a pen and then I'll go in and add details with the ink. So all we're going to do is draw a kind of kidney bean C shape on the left-hand side that comes to about the center of our page, if not a little bit further across. So I'll show you what I mean. Start doing a kidney bean, kind of elongated C shape. You gonna focus, camera? Hello? Hello? Come on, it can focus, it will focus. All right, so you can kind of see vaguely there. I hope that it's not too blurry for you. Then I'm going to come down here and draw a backwards L shape or J shape, again coming from the top, coming into the center. So it's got a little kind of curve. And then it comes in like that. So random shape. Yay, it's focused. With a little gap there, maybe 2 fingers worth of gap here. Excuse this little mark, I'm not sure what that is. Okay, then from the center of this bit, we're going to draw a slightly curved line that kind of comes in and out like that. Then we're going to leave a fingers gap and we're going to draw a V shape that's coming in this direction. So fingers gap and then a V, very slim V shape like that. Then we're going to leave another fingers gap here and we're going to kind of in line with this line, draw another backwards C shape like that. Okay, now we're going to continue on with this line, and it's going to come down and around and off the page. So down and around and off in that direction. Okay, now we're going to come back to this original shape, and we're just going to draw a second line that comes around the top bit on the inside and comes down like that. And then we're going to draw a little lip, a C shape that comes in here. And then we're going to draw another kind of squiggly shape that comes in like that. This is an ear, by the way. And ears, I mean, I'm always so lazy when it comes to ears. You can kind of just, I used to just make it up and put kind of like squiggly marks everywhere, but you can kind of see the base shapes of it, and then this bit gets a little bit darker. I'll draw that coming down there. I'm going to do that with ink though a little bit later. So got a very massive lobe going on down here, but that's okay. Okay, so you can see that this is the profile of a face, and this is an ear, quite a big ear, but you know, it could be like a granddad or something, because granddads have big ears, don't they? Ears don't stop growing. And this person is whispering into the ear. So behind the profile of the face, we need to put a hand, because yeah, this person will be putting their hand here, going like whisper, whisper, whisper. So I'm gonna, actually I could draw around my actual hand, but I'm gonna just imagine my hand here in this position with the thumb facing off this way and draw that. So I'll start with one finger coming down, middle finger, my middle finger is a bit higher. And let it kind of sneak in like that. Maybe do a little crease at the base, the center creases, the top creases, to show that it's this side palm of the hand, and then have it imagining that the hand's coming down here and coming off in that direction. And I'll figure this bit out in a sec when I draw the rest of the lips in, but imagining that it's coming down like that. And that's kind of the palm of the hand. Easy, right? Okay, so now I'm going to draw my lips in. So you could draw them however big and voluptuous you want. I've kind of left a big gap here. So with this bottom lip, I'm going to draw it coming up from the chin and around and in like that. And then kind of bring that around so it's kind of giving the impression that it's a big full 3D lip. Then just drawing the bottom line and the top line there, leaving a little dip at the top there. So they're my lips. Play around and do different styles, or thin or thick, or however it comes. Doesn't have to be realistic. I'm going to draw a little bridge bit there. Maybe draw a little line coming under the chin. Got a very pointy chin, this one, so maybe I'm going to do a little bum chin, John Travolta style. A bit more indented. Then I'm going to come up here and add to the nose. So I'm going to do a kind of C shape that comes around. I'm being quite pronounced here. I'm not trying to make a wholly realistic. I'm doing a kind of stylized drawing style. But I quite like the pronounced marks. We've drawn many faces before, so you know the drill now. You can just add little lines, little marks here and there, and it will change the expression or the way that the face looks. I might put a little dimple in there. And then I'm going to draw the rest of this finger that comes down here. And that can be where the thumb is as well. You could write a little message across here if you wanted to, a little whisper that's going into the ear, or you could just leave it ambiguous like this, change the expression of the face. We need to use the eye. I mean, ideally, I wouldn't have included the eye in this drawing because it's again a lot of work because it can change the face completely. But I've got enough space here, so I could put, I guess, hair or something there, but let's do it. Let's not shy away. So let's put the eye about here. I'm going to do a kind of bridge bit like that. And then a massive old bit there. The eye could also be closed, just thought of that now. If you don't want to be dealing with all of this. Looks a little bit wired. Maybe they're telling them something really gossipy. Some sparsely untamed eyelashes going on. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. I'm gonna put a little bit there, maybe a little line coming down the nose. Little line here. Maybe some bags. Just, you know, feeling it out, making it really realistic. Doesn't look, she kind of looks like she's gossiping. She kind of looks gossipy. And then I put a big bushy eyebrow in up here too. Just playing around. Doesn't have to be perfect at all. Maybe some wisps of hair, because that was the original prompt. Wisp. I think. I'm like, actually, was it? I was going to draw, yeah, like a person with wispy hair. Wispy hair was the first thing that came into my mind when I saw the prompt wisp. But then I was like, I don't know if that would give me a solid drawing. So I thought I'd go for whisper and just, I'm not sure what the rules are. I mean, obviously you can do what you want. It's just to get you drawing Inktober. But I don't know if how closely you have to follow the prompts, whether you get, you know, whether it's frowned upon in the art community. I'm not sure. Never done Inktober before, so I wouldn't know. All right, I'm going to bring this line down as well. If it's gone off the page, don't worry. You can just draw a line wherever across here. Or you could even, maybe it's a little closer there. Maybe I'll turn this into a roll neck jumper to avoid confusion. There's always an option. There's always a way to fix your unknown mistakes. It looks a little bit odd there, but that's okay. All right, now we need to move on to the ear, so that it's not just a floating ear floating around, it is attached to something. So This person's been quite intrusive and put their hand directly underneath the ear to pull it close to tell them and be like, hey. Maybe she's saying something seductive. Maybe she's really intimate with this person. So let's draw the kind of jaw line coming down here. And then would be the neck there. And then up here would be hair. So I'm going to just kind of draw a guide for where the hair would be. And then you can decide on the hairstyle. You could just do dots if you want it to be kind of stubbly. Or you could give nice wispy sideburns. Who doesn't love wispy sideburns? And I'm going to do long hair. Not really making any sense of which direction it's going, but just drawing wispy hair because I don't want to be disqualified by the art community. I need to read the rules. Like a weird hairstyle, so she or he has kind of put it behind their ear. It's coming out down here. And also tied it up, so it's going up and around. I don't know, guys, just scribble. Scribble. It's been so long. It feels like it's been so long since I've done actual real drawing. There you go. And now you can have some fun and add more and more details. I said that I was going to use my ink, wasn't I? Because I don't think I'm going to paint, although I just have this here to look pretty. But I think I'm going to just keep it to ink for now. I've got this little pot of ink. Watch this pop. And a dip pen. And I'm not that experienced with dip pens. I used to sell them in a bit brown in her eye in an art shop I worked in, and I would be able to tell you every damn thing about the different types of dip pen, what they're good for, what they are used for, and everything. And I would play with them all the time, but then I haven't done that for so long. So I'm getting back into the dip pen swing. I drew yesterday's fish-inspired Inktober drawing with this. Sorry if that's a horrible noise. It doesn't sound too horrible from here, but I'm not sure if it sounds too scratchy. Let me know if it's horrible, and if it is, then that's good to know. Ooh. Yeah, see, always have like moments like this, and then this blob of ink is going to like sink into the page. You can use it as a palette for a while. You could also get a brush and brush it out. Okay, good. Yeah, it's real life art creation. So I wanted to put an earring or something in. Just do a little one. Little circle. This is a brown ink, although that looks tiny, doesn't it? So maybe let's turn it into a flower. It's like, no, Ness, that's so lame. All right, well, too late. It's a flower now, guys. But yeah, the dip pen thing is fun. It's also relatively cheap or inexpensive because the nibs themselves are, well, they vary in price, but I think these are maybe like a euro, a pound, not even a pound each, and they last a fair amount of time as long as you're not, going real hard with them. And then you just get a pot of ink that's suitable for work with dip pen. and you feel like a scholar, like in the olden days. Feel very civilized. And, you know, I'm not very experienced with it these days. It's funny how you lose skills if you don't use them. But definitely something that I want to work on. So I would love to use this for every now and again for these sessions, because it's quite fun. Let me know if you've ever used bit pens. A few wisps of colour. Satisfying sound to me. I hope that it's nice for you too. Do you think this qualifies for a wispy drawing? I think so. I think it does. And then let's put that. Oh, did you see that? Nice release. So it's water-based ink, so I can just tap that in there. Make sure I clean my nib so it doesn't get all gross. And then, do you know what I'm gonna do? It's just a background color to just make it pop. So let's get a indigo on the go. Have to be a bit careful using the inky water with the watercolors, because the ink itself is waterproof once dry. So it has obviously drying agents in it. Oh my God, I love the blend of the colors. So if I use that water on my watercolors, it will cause the watercolors to dry as well. And that's not what I want, because watercolors are water soluble and they re-wet. So that's how you can reuse the tube paint. So I've got to be a little bit careful. I'm just being really lazy because I only had one. Oh my God, look at this. Gorgeous combo of the brown and the blue. I only have one pot of water with me today because, my guy, when I moved, I threw all of my pots, even the pots that I was using, my little jam jars. I recycled them, of course. But I recycled maybe like 20 jam jars that I just collected because they're always useful for workshops. But you know, when you're like moving all your stuff and you're like, get ruthless, don't you, at the end, and you just give everything away, throw everything away. So maybe I need to eat some jam, get some more pots on the go. Actually, this is quite fun. So this is kind of dry, but bits that aren't dry can turn it into kind of paint. Oh, how fun is this? Maybe it's not fun at all, but I think it's fun. Just use it as shadow for the face, but in a little bit more detail there. Ooh. Completely unplanned. Maybe I'm ruining it. Wow, whatever. We're here to play, aren't we? Already discovering new things. Day 2 of Inktober. Didn't use a brush yesterday, so didn't really play around with the possibilities. Kind of chaotic, but I kind of love it. Let's just spread this. My roll neck weird sweater situation. down there. It's kind of cool. It's quite dramatic, actually. I did put a bit too much there. I'd like to have kept a little bit of white in the eye there, but oh well. And then I'm going to put a tiny bit of blue in the eyeball. It's not really blue, is it? It's more muddy. Just to give it a little bit of depth. Oh my god, you guys, I am digging this. I'm going to add a little bit of pink to the lips. Like that, and maybe a tiny, tiny touch of pink into this earlobe. As you know me, I can't help myself. As soon as I start using the colours, little blushy pink on the cheek. And then I'm going to stop it there, I think. But I am so chuffed with that. I hope that you like what you came up with too. And it may look jolty, that's for sure, because the way in which I taught how to draw, showed you what lines to draw, was a little bit random and not that clear. But that often gives you the best or the most interesting start, and then you can build on that, you know, and there's no fear. So anyway, I'm pleased with that. I hope that you are too. And sorry, I'm moving around. Thanks so much for joining me again. It's so nice to get back on the YouTube train. I missed it. So we will be back next week, Monday to Friday, in this new space. Hopefully the internet's been good and it hasn't been buffering. I'm gonna have to rewatch it and see. But yeah, and we'll be doing the Inktober prompts. So there are 2 more prompts over the weekend, which I will be doing, but I'll just post them on Instagram. I'm not going to do live streams over the weekend because, you know, got to live your life. I'm just trying to find the prompts. No, you're going to have to Google Inktober 2020 for the 2 prompts, or I'll post them on my Instagram. But then I'll be back on Monday for that'll be day 5. Do the maths. Day 5 of Inktober. Yay! I hope you have amazing weekends. Take care of yourselves. Let me know what you thought of today's session with the ink, and whether you prefer the watercolor or the ink. And I will see you on Monday. Take care. Bye. Bye. Bye.